Hello and welcome to Sweet Surrender, your 30-minute yin yoga practice. I am Rachel Hupp and I will be your guide. This is Mocha. I think she's ready to relax and unwind as well. And so you don't need any props for today's practice, but if you would like to have some nearby, a blanket might be nice, and a couple of yoga blocks or pillows or cushions, whatever you may want to have nearby. So let's go ahead and take our time to settle in. Now, I will invite you to begin in a reclined position. So whatever feels supportive for you today, go ahead and take your time to lie down, resting on your back body. Take your time to get there. And then depending on your body, you may want to keep the knees bent with the feet on the ground, or you might want to extend your legs out nice and long. The arms can rest heavily by your sides, or you might take one hand to your heart and one hand to your low belly. Let the shoulders surrender into the support of the earth beneath you. Heavy down through the hips and relax down through the legs. And just begin to take a few conscious, deep breaths here in and out as you arrive. In the body, with the mind, with the breath. And just take your time to settle and soften in. Allowing yourself this time to slow down as we record this practice, as we come to this practice. It's late fall. We'll be welcoming winter in just a few days. And so nature's offering us this invitation to slow down, to turn inward, to connect with our inner being. And so just offer yourself a few more breaths here, taking your time to arrive, to settle in. Good. One more great big breath all the way in. Follow the breath all the way back out. And then from here, my invitation to you is to join me for a reclined butterfly pose. So just let the soles of the feet meet in front of you as the knees spill out to the sides. Your feet can be as close in or as far away as you'd like to get the right amount of stretch. Not trying to overdo it, just relaxing into this shape. And if you do have blocks or pillows or blankets nearby, you've got the option to settle those on the outsides of your knees, which are nice and supportive here in this shape. Good. Take your time to settle in. And then once you arrive, you're welcome to take your hands to the crease of your hips and maybe just wiggle a little bit more length and space into your spine. Good. As we arrive, you can choose to rest the arms up by your sides or up overhead, or maybe again, guide a hand to the heart and one to the belly. Offer yourself these few moments here to surrender. So we're not trying to force the knees open. We're just allowing gravity to help the hips open as the knees drop away from one another. You can release any control of your breath if you'd like to, and just soften in, settle in with the natural rhythm of your breath. Letting the mind follow the breath. And if you find that your mind wanders, you can bring it back to the rhythm of your breath as it comes and goes. Each inhale, breathing in a deep sense of peace and presence. With each breath out, softening a little bit more, surrendering, letting go. Feeling the heaviness through the feet. Again, gravity just drawing the knees away from one another as the hips open. And you might notice where you first settle in, your first edge. As we spend some time here in this shape, you might notice that you can open naturally a little more deeply into this shape. See what you find without judgment. Feel the entire back body heavy on the earth, long and grounded. Shoulder blades broad. You might imagine someone has their hands right at the tops of your shoulders and ever so gently just pressing the shoulders down. Good. Let the neck be long. Relax all your facial features, the shoulders. Good. Hips, the feet. And then coming back to the head and the neck. Feeling the length through the back of the neck. If you want to support under the head with a blanket, you can. And let the forehead soften. Let the temples release. Imagine the eyes dropping even further back in the socket. Relax your cheeks. Feel the cheeks soften. Relax down through the jaw. Let the tongue come away from the roof of the mouth. Good. Settling into some conscious breaths here for just a moment or so. Coming back to the rhythm of your breath. Inhaling deeply. And as you exhale, invite the body to soften and surrender even more. And keep the shape of the legs the same. And then as you inhale next time, maybe reach the arms up long behind you, fingers towards the back wall. And just gently and mindfully take the arms out and down by your sides. And if you do have a block or a blanket or a cushion under the knees, you can gently, as you bring your feet to the ground, set those props off to the side. Good. And then just take a moment to arrive. So the feet might be about hips width distance apart. It doesn't really matter in this space. And just allow yourself to receive the benefits of that shape. How do you feel? Checking in with the body, checking in with the breath. If any tension has crept back into your jaw or your shoulders, see if you can exhale it out, consciously releasing, surrendering, and letting go. Beautiful. I'll invite you to walk the feet out towards the outer edges of your mat and just allow your knees to fall in towards one another for a moment or so. Feel the low back release. Beautiful. Let's heel toe the feet back in. The knees will point straight up towards the sky and we'll come into our full body stretch. Reach your legs out long in front of you. Stretch the arms up overhead. Take up as much space as you can as you reach from one end of the room to the other. Good. We'll come into our banana shape. So you want to keep the hips exactly as they are. Lift your right foot up and set it down past the right bottom corner of your mat. And then you can slide or lift the left leg over in the same direction. Good. Then from here, we're going to take the body into a C shape. So again, both hips stay grounded as you walk the arms over to the right, coming into a banana shape or a C shape, open to your left. Good. Relax through the neck, relax through the jaw. And as you breathe consciously, as you breathe deeply and mindfully, notice the length from the heel to the hip, from the hip to the shoulder, and from the shoulder all the way up the arm down through your fingertips. Sending the breath into the left rib cage on the inhale. As you exhale, just soften and surrender, letting go. Good. Relax and release. Soften and surrender. Now you might be happy right where you are. If you do want a little more and you want to lift the left leg and set the ankle over your right ankle, you could. You could also take that left hand on top of the right, reaching a little bit more. You want both shoulders to stay mindfully grounded, the backs of the hips to stay rooted. Give yourself about 3 more deep breaths here. Inhaling, peace and ease. Exhale, softening, relaxing, letting go. Good. When you're satisfied, we'll reverse our way out, walking the arms back behind you. Stretch the legs out long. Reach from one end of the room to the other as you find that full body stretch. And just hug the right knee into your chest. Give yourself a gentle hug. Take a few breaths here in through the nose, out through the nose or the mouth. Giving yourself this opportunity to slow down, to turn inward. And then when you're ready, go ahead and release the right shin parallel to the ground. You can take your right arm out into a T if you'd like, and use your left arm to drape your right leg up and over to your left, coming into a twist. Now, if you notice the right shoulder starts to lift, you might want to ease back a little bit so you can really heavy down through the right shoulder. And if you'd like to place blocks or cushions or anything underneath that right knee, feel free. Good. Again, notice where the body can soften and surrender and let go. And just notice, which direction would you like to gaze in this moment today? Do you want to look out past your right thumb? Do you prefer to look up towards the sky? Can you feel the length from the right hip to the right shoulder? Breathing into the right side of the rib cage, feeling that expansiveness. And with each exhale, just an invitation to release, let go of any tension the body is ready to release. Just extend to it that invitation to soften, to let go, to surrender. Good. Let's find a few more breaths here, relaxing wherever the body is ready. Good. When you feel satisfied, go ahead and take your gaze and your knee back up to center. You can hug the right knee back into your chest. And maybe just find a few little circles in one direction. Good. You can go the other way. And then pause with the knee enclosed. Maybe point and flex the toes. Maybe add some ankle circles. Again, a couple in each direction. And then when you feel ready, go ahead and stretch your right leg out long. Reach the fingertips towards the wall behind you. Soften into the support of the ground beneath you and just take a moment to receive the benefits of your practice so far. Notice if there's any difference from one side of the body to the other. Without judgment, without expectation, just bringing that awareness into our practice today. Good. Inhale deeply. Go ahead and exhale all the way back out. And we're going to come into our banana shape to the left. So you can walk your left heel over past or towards the left bottom corner of your mat. Walk the right heel over in the same direction. Listening to your body to know how far to go. Maybe you need to back off a little. Maybe you can go a little deeper. And then taking the upper body in that C shape to your left. Good. You want the backs of the shoulders grounded. The neck should be long and relaxed. And just let the neck be long. Find a gaze that feels good. And ease into that sense of lengthening from the right pinky finger all the way down past the elbow to the shoulder. From the shoulder past the right rib cage down to the hips. And from the hips down past the knee all the way down to the heel. Again, if you want to deepen the shape, you could lift your right ankle and set it across the left. You could even take your right hand on top of your left, easing a little deeper into that C curve. Good. See if you can give yourself some mindful breaths here. Inhaling, feeling that length and space. And just exhaling, release, and let go. Beautiful. When you're ready, let's ease on back out, starting from the top. Elongate through the torso, reach the fingertips towards the back wall, and then walk your legs out long in front of you. Good. Take a moment to receive the effects of that shape. Inhaling deeply, and just letting it go. When you're ready, you can take the arms out in front as you draw the left knee in. Give yourself a gentle squeeze. Relax the shoulders, relax the jaw, and just give yourself some conscious deep breaths here. Again, honoring this invitation to slow down, to draw our awareness inward. Give ourselves the gift of stillness. Good. When you're ready, we can explore that twist, releasing the left shin parallel to the ground, taking the right hand to the leg. Left arm again might come out into a T, and just guide your left leg over to the right. Again, some of us may like to have a block under the knee, totally optional, but you're welcome to do that if you'd like. Notice if any tension has crept into the body. You can offer it a conscious invitation to relax and release and surrender where it's ready. Find your gaze. You can look out to the left. You can look straight up towards the sky. And then imagine that you could send your breath into the left side of your rib cage, feeling the opening, the expansion on the inhale, and a softening and a surrender on the exhale. We'll take about 3 more deep breaths right here. Nice, conscious, mindful breaths. Breathing in, receiving presence and ease. Softening and surrendering as we breathe out. And then if you do have a support under that left leg, as you mindfully come back to center, you can set your support off to the side, hug your left knee into your chest, and just find some baby circles, 2 or 3 in one direction. And then pause to go the other way. And then again, find that space of stillness. You want to bring some energy into the foot and the ankle. Is one ankle or foot more stiff than the other? Again, we're not judging, we're just noticing that gentle awareness. And when you feel satisfied, stretch your left leg out long beside the right. Reach the arms towards the wall behind you. Stretch out through your fingertips. Really spread and press through your fingertips. See if you can imagine spreading and pressing through your toes. Breathe as you reach from one end of the room to the other. Take up as much space as possible. In, in, in. And then as you exhale, hug both knees into your chest. Glue the low back into the mat and maybe rock gently from side to side. Good. We'll even that out, finding a space of stillness, coming back to center. And then take the shins parallel to the ground and open the knees wider than your rib cage. Let the shoulders soften. If you've got any tension that's crept back into the jaw, just mindfully let it go. And then decide if you'd like to keep the shape of the legs right where they are, or if you want to come into a happy baby, taking the knees towards the armpits wider than the rib cage, flattening the low back into the mat, and drawing the knees down towards the body. You're welcome to hold the outer feet, the backs of the legs, the backs of your thighs, whatever feels good. And then your choice as we settle in here. Do you want to find a space of stillness and just receive? Or do you want to find a gentle rock side to side, massaging out the back? There's no right, there's no wrong. It'll take about 5 or 6 deep breaths here. Noticing how the breath feels as it comes and goes. And noticing as we settle into this shape, how again that edge might change. Where you initially found yourself in this shape might have softened. As you spend some time here, you may feel a release, an opening. Let's hug the knees into the chest. And just take the knees in a circle a couple times in one direction. And then a couple times in the other direction. Good. Set the feet down on the mat. Stretch the arms up behind you if that feels good, and just take a moment to receive the benefits of that last flow. Notice the effects of your practice thus far. And when you're ready, just allow yourself to ever so gently ease onto either side. You're welcome to cradle the upper arm, cradle the head with the upper arm. And we're going to make our way into a child's pose, facing the front of your mat. Now, if you'd like to pad under your knees with a blanket, you're certainly welcome to. If you'd like a support, a cushion, a pillow, or a block underneath the forehead, feel free. And we're just going to separate the knees wide. Let the feet meet behind us and send the hips back towards the heels. Stretch the arms out long in front of you unless you prefer to make a pillow with the arms for your head. And just breathe here. Inhale, feel the length and space all along the length of your spine. As you exhale, soften down, surrender, let go. Take a few deep breaths here. Tuning into that quiet inner wisdom. And again, without trying to control the breath, just tune into some deep and conscious breath here. Feeling the belly rise and fall. Feel the movement as the rib cage expands and contracts with the movement of the lungs. And again, as you take some time to settle into the shape, just noticing as the body softens, as the fascia releases, can you sink a little deeper? Can you surrender a little bit more without forcing, without expecting, just allowing gravity to draw the body weight down towards the earth? Good. When you feel satisfied, go ahead and come up to all fours. Good. Take the knees under the hips, and we're going to come forward into our Sphinx. You can walk the hands forward, maybe walk the knees back, and just ease on down to your belly. You want to take the elbows underneath the forearms and take your time. Maybe press back through the feet. You can press the toenails into the ground and press into all 10 fingertips here. As you anchor into the pelvic triangle, you want to yearn the sternum forward without putting any pressure on the low back. Release through the glutes, release through the legs. And as you elongate through the spine, feel the opening across the collarbones. Feel free to keep the neck neutral and the gaze in front of you. Or if it feels nice, you can let the chin fall down towards your chest. We'll just take a few breaths here. Inhale deeply. And as you exhale, just notice where in the body you can soften, release efforting, release doing, and allow yourself to be here in this shape. Now, if you start to sag into the shoulders, though, go ahead and press into the forearm to maintain the integrity of the shape. And again, we want to be mindful not to crunch through that low back. The chin is tucked. You can mindfully gaze forward. The neck is long and neutral. And then your choice to stay right here or walk the hands out into a little bit of a Y, a little bit in front of you, coming into our seal pose. So lifting up perhaps a little more. But again, if that's too much on the low back, soften down. We'll just take a few breaths here in through the nose, out through the nose or the mouth. Inhale deeply. And as you exhale, surrender all the way down. You can take your hands under your head for support if you'd like. Take a moment to receive the benefits of that shape. Good. We'll take our time coming up to seated. Press the hands into the ground. You can bend your knees. We're going to come towards the center of our mat. If you'd like to elevate your hips on a blanket, feel free to do so. And then we're going to keep the right leg extended long as we bend the left knee and draw the left foot in towards the inner thigh. Let gravity draw the left knee down towards the ground. Again, you can pad under the knee with a blanket or a block or a pillow. And then just float the fingertips up towards the sky. And then lengthen up through the spine and let yourself soften forward over that right leg. Bend the knee as generously as you need to here. And just notice how you feel in this space, in this shape. Big breath in. Full breath out. Each exhale, just a gentle invitation to soften, surrender where the body is ready without forcing, and just gently letting go. And then take your time, slowly rise, float the arms all the way up to the sky. You can wiggle your fingers, maybe find some wrist circles on the way down. And then stretch your left leg out long. Draw the right foot in, nestle the right foot in towards the inner thigh, sit up tall. Float the fingertips tall as you lengthen out of the low back. And just explore a few breaths in your fold on this shape. Without judgment, notice if either side is more stiff today. Again, each inhale, breathe in that space of peace and presence. And as you exhale, soften in, surrender, sink deeper. Again, there's no need to force or to push. We're just creating space to relax, release, let go. When you're ready, slowly rise. Float the arms up high. And again, you can wiggle the fingers, maybe find some wrist circles on the way down. Stretch your right leg out long. Receive the benefits of your practice. And then inhale to reach for the sky. And exhale to melt forward. Bend the knees as much as you want to. We'll just take a few breaths here. Good. Go ahead and rise. One more time. Feel length through the entire torso as you reach for the sky. Float the hands down in whatever way feels good. And then I'll invite you to join me in a cross-legged seat unless kneeling or a different shape feels better for you. Take any time that you need to support beneath the seat as you surrender the body weight into the earth beneath you. Choose a hand position. Hands can meet in prayer. They can rest on your legs. You could guide one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. And I'll invite you to just allow your eyes to soften down or close. Good. Taking this time to sit quietly, noticing the quiet strength we find in standing still. You might notice an awakened quality in your body, deeper clarity in your mind. And whether you are joining me in the late fall or early winter or a different time of year, I encourage you to embrace this wisdom of slowing down, of turning inward, of self-reflection, perhaps, and just reminding ourselves that sometimes the most productive thing we can do is slow down, nourish ourselves, surrender into the support around us and beneath us, and let go. I thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Feel free to rest here in meditation if you'd like to. Feel free to spend some time in Shavasana, or perhaps you're ready to move on with the rest of your day. Whatever you choose, know that it is perfect for you today. And the light that is within me honors and recognizes the light in you.